I made a smart agent for my business, and I want to tell you about it because I think it's important. One of the problems that I have running my shop is that there's never enough hours in a day. And my role as an executive, the guy kind of running things, is to just make decisions, one decision after the other. Because my shop is smaller, I still have to be involved in the minutia of keeping the thing going. So for me, what that means is I'm involved in the process of estimating, ordering material, making sure that things are getting shipped out on time. That work prevents me from working on my company and making my company better. Working in your company type of work. I want to automate all of that work. My goal for 2025 is to build software tools that help me do that. First tool that I built helps me automate the process of material ordering. Up until now, if somebody in the shop needed to order a piece of material, what you would do is you would sit down at your computer, you would remember who you order that material from last time, who are your potential suppliers. You would compose an email saying what material you want, when you want it, and you would ask for a lead time and a price, and then you would wait for a response. One of the other and more difficult problems to articulate is the problem of naming convention when it comes to material. For a shop like ours, we use hundreds, literally hundreds of different sizes, shapes, and material compositions when we're building parts for our customers. Whether it's tube or angle or bar stock or flat plate, or whether it's 6061 aluminum or 7075 aluminum or just regular carbon steel, like all of these different material instances require that when you sit down to compose an email, you have to describe what you want to the vendor. I want a piece of angle iron. I need it to be 22 feet long. I need it to be 3 by 3 and have a 1/4 inch wall. Oh, and by the way, it's made out of aluminum. You have to think that particular size, shape, and composition combination. Who has supplied that for me in the past? Who's capable of supplying that for me? You have to make those decisions when you sit down to compose this email. And then you have to put the mental energy into composing the email. What do you want to say? How do you want to word it? Then I built an application that will allow me to select the material that I want and simply click generate quote. And what happens is this smart agent looks at that material, looks at my supplier database. It intuitively knows who can supply that material size, shape, composition, combination, and then it composes and sends them an email on my behalf from my email account to all of the people that can supply that material. That's what this application does now. This is like minimum viable product, what we built, and I'll show you a demo in a second. Imagine you need 5 sheets of 5 by 10 1/4 inch steel. You open the application, you simply select that material, input the quantity, and send the quote out. It's 3 clicks of a button. The V2 version of the application, which hasn't been built yet, will analyze the responses from your vendors, summarize them, and present them to you in a way such that you can make a binary decision. Do you want to buy or not buy? It'll tell you things like, this is the cheapest option, this is the fastest option, which one do you want to pick? And you'll simply make a decision. Conceptually, it reduces the decision-making bandwidth required to execute an RFQ and send out a purchase order for that material. Because here's the thing, buttons are binary and keyboards are subjective. It takes comparatively 0 effort to decide whether or not you're going to click a button. A button is binary, it's either on or off. You make the decision yes or no. Keyboards allow you to interface with the digital world in a way that is inherently subjective, but also requires a tremendous amount of cognitive energy compared to pressing a yes or no button. If you can build an operating console for your business that requires you or the people that work for you to simply make yes or no decisions, and you allow AI to contextualize the subjectivity of the decision that you're trying to make, theoretically, the amount of cognitive energy required to operate your business will go down considerably. That's the goal. That's what I'm shooting for. We'll see how I pull it off in 2025. Okay, so here's my material ordering app I was telling you about. It starts with signing in with Google. We don't have any other integrations yet because our business runs off of Gmail. We'll add, Microsoft in the future so that more people can use this product, because I think other shops out there could find use in it. So the first thing you do when you get into the app is you go to your account page and you add in your account details, name, company name, phone number, zip code, click Save Changes, and then you sync with your Gmail account, and this authorizes the application to send and receive emails on your behalf. We've got a little double menu thing here I need to fix, but that's not a big deal. After signing in, there's the vendor database that you'll create. And right here, you can see I've got 3 vendors. I've got my wife. I've got this, random person here named John Doski with Frat House Limited. Obviously not a real person. And then we've got me down here. What this part of the process does is it allows you to build a database of people who are your current suppliers, and you essentially pick what type of material they can supply and in what shape. So if you're working with a company that supplies heavy steel I-beam, you would come down here, you would just pick carbon steel, and then you would hit beam and channel, and probably that same company would do flat bar and angle iron, and then you would click create vendor, and that would add that vendor to your database. And then every time you submit an RFQ for that type of material and family combination, it'll automatically send them the RFQ. Speaking of the RFQ, let's go to the create quote page and go through the process of creating an RFQ. So in this page, you are presented with this database of material where the naming convention has been standardized. This one that I've highlighted, for example, is a carbon steel rectangular tube. It's 2x2, and it's 3/8 of an inch wall thickness, and it is 40 feet long. And if I want to order one of those, I simply click the box next to it, and I differentiate between complete pieces or partial pieces. Partial pieces is something that you would select if you wanted to order, like a short section of bar stock for a machining project, right? In this case, I want to select complete pieces. At this point, you select the material quantity. And one thing I did here is I put this scroll wheel. You can't see it, but my finger is just touching the screen of my tablet, and I'm scrolling, incrementing up and down. The reason I did that is, like I said before, buttons are binary, keyboards are subjective, and I want to be able to walk through my shop making executive decisions without a keyboard, simply clicking buttons on a tablet. So that's why I did that. And then I just click confirm. And then I come down here and all I do to submit this RFQ to as many vendors out there as that supply this material within my vendor database, I just click generate and send RFQ. What this does is it allows ChatGPT to reference this prompt right here to send out an RFQ on my behalf from my email to my supply chain. So right now it reads, send out a 5-sentence RFQ for this material, be aggressive and then friendly, be very pushy and insist on getting the best price. Now that's not how I send out RFQs. I want to illustrate to you the power of the LLM model in discerning your intent and composing on your behalf, right? Because the email it'll speak for itself. So let's go to my email and let's see what the email just sent me. So scroll down here. I'm going to refresh. I should have an email. No, I do not have an email. Why do I not have an email yet? It turns out that in the vendor database, I am not, this is my email right here, jfriedel@blackmountainmfg.com. I'm not a vendor for RecTube. I do sell carbon steel and stainless steel, but I only sell it in sheet form. So I'm like a sheet metal supplier. So I wouldn't get that email. I want to change that to include RecTube so that this next RFQ that I send out, I will get it. So go back to create a quote. I'm going to pick this, just a random RecTube again. I'm going to select complete pieces. I'm going to do 4 this time, hit confirm, and I'm going to come down here and hit generate and send RFQ. Watch what happens. Okay, I'm going to go to my email again. Now I'm going to update. And I got a request for material. Let's read this. Dear Jonathan, I'm reaching out from Blackmount Manufacturing regarding an urgent need for carbon steel rec tubes. We require 5 pieces of blah, 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 length tubing. Your prompt attention to this request is crucial, and I expect a competitive quote without delay. Ooh, that's awfully pushy. Price competitiveness is paramount. We need the best possible rate you can offer. I anticipate your swift response to ensure we can proceed without any unnecessary holdups. Now, if I got that email, that would irritate me just a little bit. like, why do you got to be so pushy? Anyway, I didn't compose that email. ChatGPT did. It just discerned my intent and sent that out. So obviously, that's not the prompt we would use to send out RFQs in the future. But anyway, that's the application. That's how it works. Thanks for watching.